I posted a flyer about it. And now I'm waiting for people to reach out to me. I call that the post and pray, right?
We don't need to be condescending about it. They were sent a flyer and said, promote this. So then they're like, okay. And then they put the flyer on their social media. I don't know, maybe if you wanted them to do something different, you should have given them some guidance. Hi, and welcome to Nicole Reacts, where I, Nicole, react to online marketing gurus that I find on the internet. My qualifications for snark and commentary that I've owned an actual marketing company for 15 years. I say actual because some of the people we watch act like they're marketing experts, but they've only marketed their own stuff. I've marketed lots of other people's stuff. And in implementing marketing strategy and in creating marketing strategy, I definitely have thoughts and feelings with how people train people on the internet how to market. Now, if you're happening upon this for the first time, you may ask yourself, well, what is this channel? Is it anti-MLM? Like, yeah, it kind of is. Mainly, I stick in my lane, which is marketing, and I talk about MLM trainers and how they train their downlines on marketing, which ranges from bizarre to illegal in some cases. It's kind of a commentary channel. I mean, marketing is such a part of our everyday lives and culture that, like, sometimes that stuff comes in. We'll do a Bethany Beal, we'll do a Brittany Dawn video, that kind of thing, because these people are being talked about and they are doing things like related to marketing. And yeah, it's also part small business. So I have tutorials on this channel about how to do things. I don't assume you know anything. I don't assume that you're stupid, which a lot of these trainers talk to their audience like they're stupid, which I hate. So yeah, if you like any of that, you should subscribe to this channel. And if you just even want to just watch stuff, related to these reaction videos because they're fun, there's a whole playlist on YouTube of them. And also, if you go onto the blog, there's a Nicole Reacts category where all the videos live as well. I'm a little bit better at updating the show notes on the blog than I am on YouTube, but I'm trying to get better at putting them both places. This is a total side project, right? Like running a marketing company, there's 4 of us in the company, 3 full-time, 1 part-time, and then we have 2 very regular subcontractors. So yeah, there's a team here, and that takes time to run. So these little reaction videos are like my fun creative side project. So thanks for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers so that I can monetize and do a little bit more of these kind of videos because I think they're really fun. So today's person is Katie Bristow. Now, I've never heard of her, but she's like way up in Q Sciences, and I can't remember whether someone left a YouTube comment about her or Jessica verbally told me about her. I don't know. One of those 2 things, I think, happened. She got on my list and I saved this video to react to today. I don't think we need to necessarily go into who Katie Bristow is. I might, as the video goes on. It seems like she is doing this training with someone named Lolo Paz. So I might look into who this Lolo person is. And I just kind of want to see what this team huddle about social media is all about. I think the idea with doing group trainings about social media, not only is it supposed to educate your downline on, how to do marketing, because in a lot of cases, like most of us aren't trained in marketing. I mean, I have worked in marketing over 15 years, but my degree is in geology. Like I didn't go to school for marketing. You know what I mean? So especially it's social media. Like social media was invented way after I was out of college. So I couldn't have even learned this stuff at college, even if I wanted to. So part of these trainings, like I said, is to give people education, I think. But I think part of it is indoctrination, right? So the idea of a team huddle and a team approach, I think sort of solidifies the team more so that they're less likely to leave. Just my opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. Just kidding. Anyway, so today's video is a team huddle about social media. It was recorded on the January 3rd of 2023. So this is very recent. And it's about 40 minutes long. So I'm guessing this video will be about an hour. We'll pause if they bring stuff up that I want to check and for commentary or to look into things. So if they talk about how great their Instagram is, we'll pull that up. So yeah, so let's take a look at what social media training is being done in early 2023 within Q Sciences. Now the volume here is all the way up. I'm saying this out loud. There is volume issues with the last couple of videos I did, and I'm really trying to get better at making sure I record it at the best possible volume without blowing out my eardrums. So let's give this a shot. Is this a countdown to an event happening in 23 days, or is it a 23-day long event? So in case you're not watching and listening to this, there's this, clips of people clearly at a conference, and the text above it says, discover the difference 23 days. So I'm just wondering, like, is this a 23-day long conference, or is this a video to get people excited about the upcoming conference in 23 days? I feel like they should just put the date there, and then that would make this video a lot more relevant. Because if they upload this video, oh, it's 23 days from now, that's going to be relevant for like one day, right? I noticed that in these video clips, they're showcasing some diversity. I think that that's on purpose. Right after I said they're showcasing diversity, they started showing a bunch of blonde white ladies. Oh my God, they're all holding checks. Oh my God. And someone is holding up what looks like a ring box. I'm guessing maybe they got jewelry. And so there's jewelry, there's flowers, there's big checks. Yeah, that's super typical of an industry conference you go to. Some guy got a sneaker in a plexiglass case. I don't know. This seems like not an inside joke, but like an inside thing. I don't know what it means. So they're playing this trailer, and then it cuts to the Zoom screen with the camera turned off. Now, if you're in this situation, I realize I go to this group meeting, and I realize that sometimes I have my camera off. So I customize the screen to say something so that it looked like it was intentional. So it looks like this is a recorded Zoom call, and their camera's off, and they haven't changed the default image there. Yeah.
Woohoo! That was awesome. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. It's 2023. I can't believe it. We're in.
Okay, and just so you know, the volume is all the way up, and I put my microphone like a bit of a distance from me to see if I can't make it the volume or the sound quality at least somewhat equal. But if you think any of these people have separate microphones, yeah, they don't, of course. They're using probably a built-in webcam and their built-in microphone. And if your microphone is built into your computer and your computer is physically 2 feet away from you, yeah, your sound is going to be a little meh. Also, I'm corded into the internet here at my home office. And a lot of these people are over Wi-Fi. So sometimes things reset and it makes the sound do that little like kind of wonky thing. So I'll be curious to see here how this goes.
In January, I'm sweating bullets just a little bit because I'm like, oh snap, we've got like 60 days until we have a baby. No pressure or anything. But so good to see you guys. Thanks for joining us. This is our kickoff of January Team Huddle with so much in store for all of you. Please, if you haven't already, let us know where you're calling in from in the chat box. Send out those last minute messages because this is going to be a training you will not want to miss.
Send out those last minute messages. I'm not sure if she means send messages out to your downline so that they join this call, like remind them that this is starting now, or if she means like close all of your other browsers and pay 100% attention to me. Either way, like I always think it's weird when people like try to manage other people's time like that. If you're interesting enough, they'll pay attention. You know what I mean? And if they can't pay attention in that moment, they'll watch the recording or something. Maybe these people are in the middle of something and they have to take care of it. I don't know. This sort of like treating them like you're the teacher and they're all the little students is so weird to me. But anyway.
We have some amazing things lined up with one of our silver leaders, Lauren Paz. Everyone knows her as Lolo out of Bend, Oregon. We prepared a great training for you guys tonight. But goodness, if you didn't put two and two together, 23 days. Who's excited?
23 days, I'm guessing, until the conference. And I think that's what that clip was about.
I'm so excited to see many of you. I see Dr. Freddie. I can't wait for some dance moves, some hugs.
Also, her computer is making those little beep notification sounds. Part of the reason I wear headphones, I'm alone in my freaking house right now. Like, I don't need to wear headphones, is like, I want to cut down as much on like the sort of exterior volume issues as possible. So I think she needs to turn off her computer notifications.
I can't wait to meet many of you guys for the first time. That is the specialness of conventions and events. And if you're brand new with us and you're like, who the heck are you? And what the heck are you talking about? I'm Katie Bristow, and I am one of your platinum leaders here in the For Freedom Project.
So Lolo is silver. She's platinum, to be clear.
I'm also one of...
Oh my God. I think every time someone joins the call, it's making that little ding notification. I'm sorry, it's nothing I can control on my end, but we've been like remote working, those of us with like sort of computer-based jobs for years, but like in real, earnest for like over 2 years. You think that people would have figured out some of these little like, oh, Zoom makes an annoying tone when people join the call. Maybe I should turn that off. You'd think that people would have figured this out by now, but no.
Your advisory council members, Marielle Filipponi is another one who represents on that council. And gosh, is it a true honor to have a voice for the field, not only for this team, but all of Q Sciences. And we're just truly so excited because we know a little bit more than most what the heck is coming here in 2023, especially coming off of that event. And so
we know more of what's going on. Does she mean in the world? Does she mean when it comes to, hold on. Okay, so I just looked up and I didn't even know what Q Sciences even sold. They sell a bunch of stuff. Nutritionals, collagen, hemp, terpene elixirs, drink mixes, oral sprays, topicals, protein. Kids packs, swag. Oh, okay. So got it. I don't know why they called it Q Sciences. I feel like the whole like QAnon thing is something that people wouldn't necessarily want to be associated with. And so when I hear Q Sciences, I kind of indirectly associate it with that. But anyway, I just had to see what they were selling. So she thinks that they know more of what's coming up. And it could be if they know more of what's coming up for the Q Sciences product line by going to convention, I could see that. But acting like she knows more of what's going on in 2023 than the rest of us, I don't know.
If you're here and you just partnered, please reach out to the person who enrolled you to get details on our next event. I'm just scrolling through a few names in on here. Like I think of Allie, I think of Lolo, I think of, oh gosh, I can't scroll fast enough. But those are two examples where they came like just days after enrolling and they thought I was crazy for inviting them.
There's so many people, you guys, that she can't even scroll fast enough. Also, I appreciate that she has a shared Zoom account with maybe, I'm assuming her husband, Katie and Ben. Yeah, you can change what name displays before you start a meeting. I don't know. It kind of has a similar energy to couples with a shared Facebook account, but I'll just leave it at that.
And ask them to join us. And their minds are blown, to say the least. And then their businesses exploded. And that's really how they kicked off their time here with Q. And so it's never too early.
Oh my God. Why does she call it Q? That's so creepy. It sounds like QAnon.
Some of you might be thinking, well, I just joined. I don't have a team. Or I just joined. I don't have a customer base. I just joined. I feel like I need to like have some footing before. No, you go to the event and that's where you learn the skills. You have the associations and we take it off of Zoom, which makes it so much more fun and so much more real.
So I think this is kind of the wrong view of conferences. And if you go to conferences, tell me if you also feel this way about them. But to me, like when I go to do a word camp, Word Camp Boston, right, is one I've been to before. And it's a pretty good sized one. So there's multiple sessions going on at the same time. Typically when you go to these conferences, you have a little bit of kind of knowledge about the thing you're at the conference about. And based on that knowledge is how you pick sessions, because you're not going to learn like how to start an entire business at a conference, right? But if you go to a business conference and you see that there's a session about marketing, a session about um, accounting, and a session about, I don't know, legal issues, you might say, you know what, like I'm pretty good at marketing, but like I really need to brush up on my accounting. So I'm going to go to this session about, you know, QuickBooks for creatives or something, and beef up on that. So to me, a conference is to, see what's new in my industry and to connect with other people in it. I wouldn't go to a conference without knowing anything about the subject matter of the conference, or at least like seeing the agenda and seeing if there's enough sessions that I would want to go to make it worth the time and financial commitment it would be to go. But let's continue.
So if you haven't seen, there is a little promo for getting your event ticket by tomorrow night, Wednesday night. Every 4 tickets, we're drawing $200 of travel cash. You can offset hotel, airfare, food, whatever. You choose how you want to spend it. But I just think, if there was a time to snag that ticket, if you've been, teeter-tottering or on the fence, just get it. We'll figure out the rest. But with that being said,
let's look at how much it costs to go to this conference. So this is Q Science's website, and I go to their events page, and it just has a recap of 2022 and a little link about hosting my own events, right? So then I Googled Q Science's Convention 2023, and I got to this video, and I fast forwarded a bunch of it to spare you. But it's in Salt Lake City 2023, but there's no show note, there's no link. I'm trying to figure this out. How do I sign up? Do I have to sign up through somebody at Q? So why wouldn't they list it on their events page, right? Like that seems weird. And I'm going to check their blog really quick just to see if it's in here. I have to sign in to see the blog. I can't just read the blog. Who does that? I'm double checking. So, okay, if you have a blog, like part of the idea of a blog is that people can read it. Why would you not talk about your event on your homepage? Why wouldn't you make your blog open to everybody to let them learn about Q Sciences? This whole like gatekeeping information stuff is exactly why people think companies like this are sketchy. Because if you're not forthcoming, to me, that assumes, you have something to hide. Just saying. Let's go back to this training, which hasn't started yet. So I looked and I couldn't even find the cost of this convention. Okay. I mean, not that we're surprised about that, right? But she's offering $200 stipend for, a random drawing. So not everyone gets a stipend, but some people will. So let's like bare bones this. Okay. Let's assume that I'm going to WordCamp Boston. And I'm trying to remember what the registration was. It wasn't really expensive. Maybe it was like $50 or something. Okay. So I'm assuming it's more than that, but let's do some math. Okay. I'm going to WordCamp in Boston. So I have a $50 registration. I decide, you know what, I'm going to get a bus ticket so that I don't have to park in Boston. So I'm not like paying for parking and gas and all that. I'm just have a set cost. Let's say that I can get a round trip ticket for $80, which I think is about what it cost the last time I did that. So $80 round bus trip, okay, from Boston. Let's say that I get a cheap hotel or an Airbnb, and let's say it costs $100, right? So like 60 something dollars plus taxes and all that, right? $100. Maybe I even get a continental breakfast with that, okay? And then let's say that as part of the conference, I need 2 meals. Okay, so you know what? I need 3 because I need lunch and dinner and I need breakfast. Oh no, I had breakfast the next morning, but I'm probably going to need lunch on the way home because Boston's a little far. So 3 meals. And let's say that I am being really cheap and I'm paying $15 per meal. Okay. I'm not getting alcohol. I'm not getting anything super fancy. I'm just getting like, I don't know, a really big salad and a coffee or something. You know what I mean? Like, and even that, you're like, $15. Like, I'm not sure, even going to McDonald's these days would probably cost more than $15 for a couple of people anyway. So you see how even $200 going to my little conference wouldn't even put a dent in the expenses. And this is me being bare bones about it. This is not me doing anything extra while I'm in Boston. This isn't me saying, oh, you know what? Let's go on a duck tour, right? This isn't me saying, oh, I'm at this software conference. Let me, check out the vendors and maybe buy some stuff from some of the exhibiting people because there's a deal, right? So even $200 doesn't even touch the kind of expenses, even going to a very small conference. So it sounds generous, but I guess I'm pointing out to you that it kind of isn't. Let's continue.
Guys, I'm actually really excited to get myself out of the way tonight. We have one of our, she's on a rocket ship. She's more than just a rising rock star here. She's doing the do, guys. Her name is Jill Anderson. She's one of our newest bronze leaders here within the team. And I'm just excited to have Jill pop on and do some of our weekly recognition that closes the month. And then we'll do all of our December recognition next week once we have all those reports finalized.
I'm going to fast forward this part. I don't think any of us needed to watch another woman read a bunch of names. So I think I got it to the point now where it's going to continue to the social media training part.
Ever meet. And I'm slightly biased because I've known her for like 12 years. We go way, way back, even before Q.
My God, calling Q is so triggering for me.
But she is a silver leader here. She's one of the fastest growing organizations in the entire company right now. And I know that
the fastest growing organization within the company. So to me, there's an organization and then there's a company. I don't know.
Her as she, rounds out, what was it? Your first full year in business. I'm just so amazed at seeing how many elites, bronzes were able to be produced within your organization last year. It's just so inspiring, Lo. And I know that you have so much knowledge to give. So I hope you guys have some paper, have a pen out so you can lean in and learn how Lolo is doing it. So Lo, I'm going to pass it to you.
Yay. Thank you so much. Hi, guys. Kate, if you could just give me screen recording ability, that would be awesome. Or not screen recording, screen sharing. But so excited to meet you guys. So many new faces. Welcome to the Q family. Welcome to the For Freedom Project. We are so excited for you. You guys are joining at such an amazing time. And if you guys have been here for a while, we are entering into the best.
It's always the best time to join. Whenever you're talking to somebody, it's always the best time.
Season I think Q has seen yet. So I hope that you guys have your seatbelts on. You guys are ready because this rocket ship is like going nowhere but up. And we're about to blow this ish up at convention. So I hope that you guys can make it. I would love to meet you, spend time together. There's literally nothing like it. But until we can all be in the same room, I love seeing you guys on social media. And I'm excited to talk about that because it really can be an amazing tool to grow your business with, because it really does allow us to connect beyond ourselves, and really tell a story.
Isn't anytime you make a connection with another person beyond yourself, like, isn't me like chatting with the cashier at the grocery store making a connection beyond I don't know.
So tonight we're going to talk about, the foundations of.
Oh, okay. Something to chew on. A confused mind will always say no. Now, if I disagree with that statement, I'm saying no, right? And then they're like, oh, yeah, confused. A confused mind will be confused. You can say no without being confused. This is so culty and weird. Like, if someone is confused or is unsure, they're saying no. But if they knew, if they weren't confused, they'd say yes. That's the implication. Ew.
How to kind of start and get going. And so my hope is that whether you have never shared on social media, whether you're brand new and you're just starting to share with your network, or if you've been here on the team for a while and you just need a fresh perspective, there is something here in the training for everyone. So I always start off with a little something to chew on. A confused mind will always say no. So
who said that? Q.
Really think about that when you're sharing a message or something on Instagram, on Facebook. Are you clear with the message you're trying to convey, whatever it might be?
Okay, so this is about to be gross. Mainly, if someone says no, it's because you didn't explain it to them well. It's because you didn't meet them where they were at. It's because you didn't show through example how you are living the lifestyle that this business creates. So anytime someone says no, the thing that she's getting into is it's going to be your fault. So hello, gaslighting.
And I have a lot of inspiration for different ideas that you guys can start to share. Now, so why social media? Obviously, it builds trust with people. It's really like a walking business card. It's brilliant. And there's so much untapped network expansion that's possible. And that's, different trainings for a different day. That's kind of higher level stuff. But really, you have to ask yourself, and I would love it if you guys can drop in the chat. This is going to be a very hands-on training tonight. So what do you guys think we're trying to accomplish by talking about our business on social media?
She's trying to sort of get at your why without saying we're getting at your why, right? Is I want to talk about the design of this slide. Now, Canva has templates for slides, and she's using Canva. We saw that when she clicked the share that she's in a Canva template. And within any template, you'll probably notice that there is a couple of different fonts being used throughout the template. Obviously, there's some unified colors, which we're seeing, but the fonts are a little more subtle. So typically there is a headline font, there is a body font, and sometimes there is an accent font. So the headline font would be why social media, as it's written on this slide. So the headline font is typically going to be written big. It's going to be your headers. It's going to be, maybe you're going to use it for buttons. I don't know. It's just like the sort of font that is used to kind of make your main points and kind of divide up the page. The body font, which is where it says builds trust, walking business card, untapped network expansion. That is the body font. So whatever body font you pick, it's typically a lot of text together. So you can't pick a font that's too hard to read. So that's why you never see body fonts that are like really like cursive or whatever. It's because they have to be really easy to read when there's a lot of text that's being written in it. And then the third font sometimes people use is what I call an accent font. So that's basically like when people will typically use a script font for this or something like that. It's used sparingly on the website. And the idea is it creates like some visual interest. But what you can do if you take a Canva template is it starts off with a default color scheme, a default heading font, and a default body font typically. What you can do is you can pick different colors and pick different fonts. As long as you carry your font change throughout your design, it'll still give the same unity, and it'll allow you to make your designs look a little bit more intentional and a little bit less copied from a Canva template.
Amy says relationships, totally. Network marketing, right? Networking.
Okay, so like content-wise, like meh. The untapped network expansion makes me a little bit triggered because here's the thing. Just because you connect with someone on LinkedIn or someone follows your Instagram account doesn't mean they're going to join your business. And looking at people like there's something like a resource that you can get something from, like, oh, if I just tapped into my network or if I tapped into a growing network that I would make more money. Yeah, not necessarily. But the main thing I want to talk about is the absolute laziness of this design. Now, I get it. We all use Canva templates to save time, myself included, okay? It's a really easy way to collaborate with clients on stuff. It's easy to export them into different formats. You can isolate elements and reuse, say a carousel. You can take one of the slides and use it as an individual post. But I just want to show you how this person did absolutely nothing to this Canva template. So I rewound, and this is the first slide, okay? So notice the font, notice the colors, and all of that, okay? I'm going to show you the exact Canva template that she got this from. Ready? Okay, so this is the template. It looks the exact same, which to me is super lazy. This is supposed to be like a starting point, okay? It's supposed to just give you some ideas about how you could organize things. To be a completely non-lazy person using a template, if I change the colors and I change the fonts, it can look entirely different. Now, I have branding guidelines, which makes this a lot easier. If you need help with branding guidelines, I think we have a free download of how to make your own branding guidelines on our newsletter. I think when you join our newsletter, you get it. So I've opened this up. I've applied all the pages. So I see all of the pages in the order that, right, we just saw this one. So she took out this one and she's using this one. So you can reorder them, right? But the easier thing to do to make this look even remotely interesting is I can select this shape and then I can hit my my breaking even teal. And then on the very bottom, it says, do I want to change everything that's orange to teal? And I click change all, and it changed it for all of the slides. It changed everything that was red to teal. So what I can do is I can go through, and you know what? Like maybe I want to change this brown color. Maybe I want to change it to black, and change all. See, already this is looking different. Now, la pièce de résistance is I can just change the font. Now, I have some brand fonts here underneath my kit. I have my Lato Bold, change all. And my body font is Montserrat Classic, change all. So as you can see, I spent, what, a minute? And that template looked pretty different. Now I could spend maybe another minute and I could have deleted some elements. I could maybe like mirror some of the pages so that it kind of swapped the format from left to right. And I could have maybe rearranged the slides and it would have been an entirely different thing before I even added my content into it. And the idea is that, like, as a marketer, when I design things for people, it should look like it comes from them and not that it comes from a Canva template, right? So the fact that this person took a Canva template and dumped some text into it without even trying to change it shows me a couple of things about them. Number one is they will do the bare minimum when it comes to marketing. And number two, they don't care that it doesn't look like their original thing. They're fine using the work from other people. And personally, those two things are all I need to know about someone's approach to marketing. Let's continue. Okay, I got us back to the original spot of 10 minutes and 39 seconds.
Totally. Connections, exposure. Yep. Okay. If there's somebody who's been to Silver Summit, you guys can give it away. What's the reason that we share about Q or that we even have QIQs?
We share about Q because we want people to join our QAnon cult. No, you share about things on social media because you are passionate about the topic and you want everyone in your life to be able to make a ton of money like you're making, right?
Yeah. It is to find your next leader. That is really, really like the why behind the why, right? Because if
find your next leader, what?
If you shared with 1,000 people, right? And nobody was interested, was that really your goal, just to like share and expose and like create relationships? Yeah, maybe. I love connecting with people. I do that daily. But really, we're in a business, right? We want to grow our business actively. We want conversations and relationships to convert into sales and into partnership, right? So I'm going to show you exactly how you do that, but have that in your mind.
What are you trying to accomplish when you're marketing your business on social media? To make money.
Speak to who you want to attract, right? So it's not just about products. I think a lot of times, right, when we get into these types of businesses, we are like, but I'm going to share with the product.
Okay. First of all, if you're going to use a graphic like this, just make it the full screen, right? So, like the title, the system, and social media on the top isn't really adding to this at all. And this writing on the side looks really crowded. So if she would have made this really big, we could see all of the steps very clearly. But as it is right now, I would need to put on, hold on. Hitting your 40s is real fun, folks. Okay. Launch orientation, peak invite, expose, connect, screen, additional exposure if needed, and enroll, PC or ambassador. And then it goes, you are here. Okay, well, we can read you are here, but anyway, if she would have made this full screen, we could have probably read it, but
I don't know all the products yet. I can't share. I'm like, no, you are the product, who you're working with.
You are the product? No, you're selling products, theoretically. You're not the product.
Is the product, right? There's so many things about Q that we'll dive into that you guys can make
Every time they say Q, it's like
promotable, that you can make attractive to people. But before we dive into that, I just want to kind of slow down and remember we're finding our next leader.
Oh my God, I just realized that the things are written below. Oh, so the things in the circles are written in the white part of the screen below it. Okay. I wasn't sure.
Right? We're finding our customers. That's really the main reason, is to grow your business. And so the system that we have, this might look familiar. This is directly from our launch document, right? So if you just started, chances are you've sat down with a mentor and you've gone through this right here.
She didn't make this. Someone professional made this. Really? They couldn't have made something better looking?
So the way that social media can...
Hey, MLMs, you can hire me for graphic design. I could design something better looking than this in like 20 minutes.
grow your business is if it's feeding into step one. If it's a tool that you're using.
Okay. Can we just take a moment to look at bubble number 1, where the text isn't centered, like it should be up a little bit. And bubble number 5 also needs to be up a little bit. And there should be some padding, at least for bubble number 6, because it's running into the edge. But go off, Q.
Using to peak and invite people, right? So you're constantly growing relationships, like you guys said. So you're always filling in that funnel, but it doesn't end there. You always want to move people through the system, right? So you want to move them through and expose them to the full picture of Q.
So invite and pique their interest and expose. I don't get why that wouldn't be a similar step, but okay.
So really, social media is just this one function. It's just to meet people, connect with them, pique their interest around a product or an opportunity or a person, right? That's really all it is, but we can't forget the rest of the system. A lot of us get stuck in like, oh, I worked my business. I worked this, promotion. I posted a flyer about it. And now I'm waiting for people to reach out to me. I call that the post and pray, right?
We don't need to be condescending about it. They were sent a flyer and said, promote this. So then they're like, okay. And then they put the flyer on their social media. I don't know. Maybe if you wanted them to do something different, you should have given them some guidance. You don't need to be freaking condescending. That's what I hate about all these trainings is like, listen, like if they had good information, fine. And even if they had bad information and were trying, I'd be like, okay. But the fact that they're absolute douchebags to the people who are listening to them, like, you don't need to be like that. If you want people to behave differently, why don't you either model different behavior or give them some training so that they know what to do?
It's not actively working your business. What you did is just pop something on social media, and really, you didn't take anyone through the system. And the system is what's going to get you results. And so I would hate for all of you guys, or any of you guys, to be spinning your wheels, posting things or graphics. I see this all the time where people get into this and they're like, oh, I want to grow, customer base. I want to grow a business. And maybe they post for like a couple months, but they never show their face. They never tell a story. They never actually take the next step.
Why don't you show an example of a full-on marketing campaign where someone took massive action. Say, okay, here's Beth, and this is what Beth's doing. Here's some sample posts that Beth's putting on social media. Here's an event that she's holding and the content of that event. Here is an email newsletter she sent. Why not like show an example rather than shaming people for not doing enough without telling them what enough looks like? Also, another little graphic design tip. So the writing that she has to the left is really crowded, right? Where it says no social media is needed with our system. And the reason that it looks crowded, well, there's a couple of reasons, but is that A, it doesn't need to be there. But B, if you wanted text, what you want to do is you want to look at things like line spacing. So there's space between letters, letter spacing, and then there's line spacing. So in this case, it looks like there's a lot of line spacing. Like it looks like it's almost stretched out, for lack of a better word. So if you want to like offer some more margins to each side, you can buy yourself some space by decreasing the line space. Because as I was telling somebody the other day, space communicates confidence. So if you are taking up space with your design, if you're leaving white space, that communicates a lot more confidence than crowding does. That's why like high-end brands, like when you look at their advertisements, there isn't a lot of text, there isn't a lot of like visual elements to distract you. It's like simple. So anyway, just a little tip from me.
Step to invite people to the exposure, right? And if they don't get them exposed to Q, and we'll talk about what that means and how you do that, then you can't move to the connection and, you know, enrolling your people. So it's very, very powerful once you have somebody.
It's very powerful that you invite someone, expose them, and then connect. But don't you connect with them before you invite them? Like these words are kind of meaningless, right?
Be interested, whether something you've posted.
Oh, you connect them to a mentor, I see. Again, if she would like reference the writing below this weird diagram, I would remember to look at it.
It could be, you know, your greens. This is so good, right? Somebody's popping in your message. Oh, what is that? Oh,
no one's popping in your message asking, what is that?
Ding, ding, ding. Write their name down. They just got added into step 1.
That's right. You ask someone a question and suddenly they're in your funnel, whether they like it or not.
Without knowing it, you just piqued their interest. So you say, oh, I'm actually working with a new company. It's called Q Sciences. Have you heard of us yet?
Working with a new company is such an MLM phrase. You can just say, oh, I bought these greens from this company. I'm selling them if you want to buy some. Like, why are you trying to recruit them in the company when they're just asking what you're drinking?
Oh, you haven't? I would love to show you the bigger picture of what we have here. Are you free tomorrow night?
No, this is not how you fucking sell something. Listen, I've been selling my own shit and other people's shit for 15 years. This is not how you sell something. You answer their question. I'm drinking this green. Here's the link. Oh, you notice the link is really long and has like my little custom URL at the end of it. Let me disclose to you that like I'm actually making money if you buy it. What do you mean you're making money if I buy it? Oh, just like it's like sort of like an affiliate thing. Anyway, so if you just answer people's questions and bring the relationship to that next level when it naturally comes up, you're going to be a lot more successful at selling shit. Not that I want you to be successful at recruiting people into a commercial cult, but
at 5 p.m., hop on Zoom real quick. Somebody that I really trust and work with in the business is going to share the whole picture. I'd love for you to see it. We have so many more things that we offer, right? So you're taking them through the exposure. Then,
yeah, someone who just innocently asked what you were drinking in the morning that was green, suddenly you're roping them into a business opportunity. Like, no.
And they hop off the call or they watched a recording and then you ask, what did you like? What caught your eye? And they're like, oh yeah, actually,
the scenario she is painting is entirely unlikely if you have tried to sell anything, right?
I had no idea that you had a free financial coach. I really need that.
Hey, let me ask you a pointed question about this assignment I gave you to watch this video.
Right now, how do I enroll? Let me connect you.
How do I enroll? No, they're just gonna watch it and be like, this sounds weird. Like, all right, I watched it and like, don't ever contact me again. But, oh, what did you like about it? Okay, because she asked me what I liked about it. Let me see if I can come up with something. I like the slide presentation. I thought it looked nice.
With Katie, with Jill, with Allie, somebody that I trust that I'm working with to make sure you get your questions answered in the right way. And then you guys answer their questions.
Also, like you pulling me in and then handing me off to someone else right away. You might trust these people, but I don't know them. Like, why, to me, you got to take people, if you're going to sell someone something and they're going to have a relationship with you, you have to take them through a certain amount of this. If you start handing off people, like even at that like 3 connect stage, it seems early to hand off someone. You've been building rapport with this person for weeks, months, maybe years. And you're handing them off like very early in the sales cycle to someone you trust. Like, no, I want to take them through the process. They trust me. I want to be their contact because them buying or not buying is money in my pocket. So I want control over that. And B, because I built the rapport and I can probably get useful feedback as they go through the process to make my process better.
Chit chat, maybe hop on Zoom or the phone. And then they feel confident, right? Because you've just connected them to people. People join for people. Okay. You guys can do this with customers.
No, they join for money. Like if I want to connect with people, I'll just go to the dog park or I don't know, join a kickball league or something. I'm joining an MLM theoretically to make money. I'm not joining it for connection.
And with business partners. And so now that you've made that strong connection, people to people, there's trust built, people are ready to enroll. So in this training, I don't want you guys to get lost in like, what do I post? Or social media is the end all be all. Because I think a lot of us, I know for me, I came from a company where it was just, oh, flash sale, make sure you post the flash sale. But there was no business tools that were taught. And so I thought that by me just posting pictures of products and before and afters, that was actively working my business. And I hate to burst your bubble, but here in Q, that does not equate to results. We have to take people through the story of Q and who we
story of Q
are. So the first thing that we talk about is your peak post. So if you are like brand new and you're just starting, or actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch it up. I challenge you guys, even if you've been here for 5 years, to write a brand new peak post. Like, what are you actually excited about right now in Q? And what are you confident in Q? And really say, you're entering into a new chapter, a new project, a new venture, whatever language that you feel like really kind of speaks to you. You're pioneering a new health and wellness brand. That's one of my favorite things to say. Because it really sounds interesting.
But it's not new. If it's been around for over 5 years, can't be like, I'm pioneering a new wellness brand. It's not new.
Sharing a little bit about your why. I've watched a lot of friends join and become very successful. And I am so excited to step into this new season of life with them, whatever it might be. Now, you guys can really make your peak post anything. It could be a picture of you, could be a picture of you on the top of a mountain, your family, could be anything. Ask your mentor for specific examples, or
why don't you give some specific examples? Like you're doing a social media training. You don't have some examples of posts that people have used to say this that are now successful in the company?
You guys can actually search QPP on Instagram, and there's actually some posts. It stands for Q Peak Post.
Why didn't you just screenshot a couple of them from the hashtag and put them on the screen?
So if you make a peak post, go ahead and add that hashtag so other people can find it for inspiration. But really, guys, you can do a peak post at any point, but it really is to put it out there like, hey, I'm doing something new and different. If you want to be one of the first to know what it is, drop an emoji, send me a message. You always want to give people a call to action or a way to reach you. And so it's kind of on purpose, you guys, that we want to be a little ambiguous because you're telling a story. The best people on social media that grow businesses tell a story. So we don't want to give away the ending like day one. Okay. Have a little bit of romance, if you will, right?
I think she means mystery. But whenever someone's mysterious, I think they're repping an MLM company and they don't want to tell me about what the company is so that I don't do my own research. So I'm inherently suspicious when people are mysterious.
Like make people wonder what the heck you're doing and kind of dangle the carrot a bit.
No, this kind of stuff doesn't work anymore. especially post-pandemic. People want authenticity and transparency. It's why they like TikTok videos. It's why like genuine stuff really resonates with people. It's because they don't like this mysterious stuff. They feel like you're trying to put one over on them.
Say why you're excited, but you don't quite give it away. And if they want to know the information, you're giving them an opportunity to message you, to drop an emoji, whatever it might be, right? And then after your initial few posts, it could be 1, 2, or 3, then you start to really dig into, okay, I've partnered with Q Sciences. I'm so proud to say it. You know, if you've heard the buzz,
I'm so proud to say it, I mentioned it right away.
And you want to know more, that's kind of like next steps. So work closely with your mentor and we can kind of coach you up on what to find and what just kind of the words to find after your initial peak post. But really just.
Oh, gross. They made people do a giant poster with their why, hold it up on a stage, and took a picture of it. Gross.
Taking people on your journey. And I know the forever like lore in this business is to compare yourself to other people. So I just urge you, like, just stay on your own, in your own lane, share your own journey. It doesn't matter if, you know, you've been here for 6 months and you are builder, or if you've been here, you know, for 2 years and you're platinum. You have a story worth telling, even if you just started this, right? People want to follow people that are on the move. And basically, if you can spark in someone's mind, oh, if she just started over, if she just did that, I can do that too. One of my favorite writers from Brene Brown, she says, you know, we're wired for story. In a culture of scarcity and perfectionism, there's a surprisingly simple reason we want to own, integrate, and share stories of struggle. We do this because we feel the most alive when we're connected to others and being brave. So it's not.
Don't use Brene Brown like this.
About sharing
this isn't what she means. She doesn't mean be vulnerable to sell someone something. She means be vulnerable to connect intentionally with other people. Like our humanity, not our capitalism.
Perfect story. It's about sharing your story as it is. And that's really, you know, taking people all along the journey. So I challenge you guys, like, if you've been.
Brene Brown, if somehow you end up watching this video, you won't, but if you do, can you please come out against MLMs? Can you please say something about commercial cults and how you're not into them so that they will not use your quotes?
Been here for a while and it's been a second. Take people on the journey that you're on, because I think when we can be in it for a while, we kind of forget that. Okay, so why do we share the way we do on social media? Have you guys heard, like, you guys in Q, all you talk about is the business and blah, 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 right? I don't know if you guys have heard that.
You know that constant feedback you're getting that's really consistent? We're going to pretend it's not a problem.
I have. And it kind of makes me chuckle because people don't actually recognize the timing that we're sitting in Q. Guys, I know it can seem like everybody knows about Q because we know about Q, but I can promise you, majority of people have never heard of our company before.
We've heard of QAnon, and every time you say Q, I think of QAnon.
They don't know who we are, what we offer. So the timing we're sitting in, it's not like, hey, Brandy, I just joined a company. It's called Pampered Chef. Would you like to buy some of my products? Like, we all know Pampered Chef, right? Like, she knows I'm going to try to sell her some Tupperware and some baking goods, right? But when I say, oh, Brandy, I just joined Q Sciences, she's going to be like, what the heck is that? I've never heard of that before. So we have to take people on the journey. So
it's supplements. GNC has been in business for what, 30 years? They're in every mall you go into. I don't know if malls are still a thing. I haven't been into a mall in a while, but it's supplements. Okay. It's like not something weird.
Can you guys think of a couple things, like value points of Q Sciences that we have that gets missed when we simply share a product and we just say, oh, here's my link? Because I know that that's a big mistake I see.
I don't want to know the values of a product. Sometimes I just need to buy some new moisturizer. I don't need to, like, hear all about how the company feels about moisturizers. Okay. Sometimes I just need a product.
People just say, oh, look at link here, buy it here. Or flash sale. Here's my website. I always hear that from people. I've sent them my website, but they haven't ordered. I'm like, have you connected with them, talked to them, told them the story of Q, told them the value of Q, right?
You're allowed to send people links, okay? You know, if you were like, hey, Nicole, I really like this. Like, where did you get it? I would send you a link to it. Like, what's weird about sending people links to products if they're interested in those products? Like, isn't that what we want?
So yeah, you guys are spot on. We just send people, hey, I'm doing this new thing. Here's my website. We are missing out on sharing the support. They don't know that we have a MyQ Fit. They don't know this.
I don't care if you have a MyQ Fit. If I'm thinking about your business, I might just start off as a customer. Probably most people start off as a customer. I might be like, you know what? I'll try your protein. Sure, I'll try your protein. I don't necessarily need to know your information portal, okay? I'm just looking for a protein shake.
Systems in place. They don't know the culture. They don't know about our 50-50 partnership. They don't know anything, right?
They don't know anything. Well, it sounds like you don't really know much about social media, and yet here we are 22 minutes into a 40-minute training.
So don't short yourself.
All right, it's editing, Nicole, so you know what that means. Part 2 next week. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, I hope you consider subscribing to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Have a great week, and I will see you next week. Take care.